We're the Mean Girls Knits. Gotta be careful with that. I'm Rebecca. This is Stephanie. Sorry. I was like, hey, I'm really excited. I'm really excited today, so I'm sorry if I am, like, talking over Stephanie. I apologize in advance. I said just put your thumb up every time you agree with something I say. This is our Rhinebeck episode. We're going to split these up into two. So this is the Rhinebeck episode. There will be another episode that is more of a regular episode where we talk about finished objects, works in progress, things like that. But this is our Rhinebeck episode, so you don't have to watch if you don't want to, because I don't blame you, but I am so excited. Go ahead. Say something. Now's your chance.
Oh, thanks. Oh, I gotta get it fast. Oh, I wasn't prepared. Hey, guys. I'm Stephanie, Rhinebeck. So excited.
We went.
There you go.
We went. It was amazing. It was everything that I thought it could be. And I was... Okay, I've watched a lot of Rhinebeck recap videos. You guys know there's barns, there's stores, there's... Not stores, but booths full of yarn, and you can buy stuff there. That's pretty much the gist. But, oh my gosh, guys, it would not be a Rhinebeck trip with us without shenanigans. There were so many, and I'm going to tell you all about them. And it was amazing. And I hope that I don't upset anybody that was with me, David, because I'm going to tell all the stories. It's going to be great.
It was an amazing weekend. So much laughter. And so many good times.
There was crowds, but I didn't feel like it was really that bad. I mean, I know I made a video saying that, oh, I'm afraid of crowds, and it really wasn't as bad as I imagined it could be. So, will you just check right now? Am I looking at the camera? Does it look like I'm looking at the camera?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay.
Looks like you are.
Because I am, but when I would, like, it's really bad.
My eyes are doing weird things.
My eyes are doing weird things today. I'm sorry.
Yeah, mine are too. It looks like I'm...
We got a lot to fill in. Okay.
I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, it really wasn't that bad.
It wasn't bad.
Like, I don't do crowds either. And there was only, like, twice where I, like, kind of had to, like, step away. And if a booth was just really busy, I just didn't go there. And when it started to, like, get crowded, I was like, all right, I'm done. I might come back later, but I gotta get out of here. So it really wasn't, and honestly, there was only like 3 booths where I was like, I need to leave this booth because it's really a lot of people, which is, it's not a bad thing. It's just personally, like I couldn't, but it really wasn't that
It wasn't bad. So, okay, so here's the deal. We went to the airport. We got on a red-eye flight. Our flight left at 11:43 and it landed at 7:40 in the morning in Newark, New Jersey. That's a whole other thing. We got to the plane late. If you're going to take an overnight flight, get there early because they stopped selling liquor in Seattle at 10. And I was really concerned about my ability to deal with the flight, but it was fine.
It was fine. We found somebody that was selling wine.
Perfect flight.
Little bottles of wine.
No problems whatsoever. It was great. And then we landed and it was a little bit rough. And I looked out the window at the Newark airport and I was concerned that we'd made an emergency landing at the prison in New Jersey. I was like, what is this?
It was a rough, like the takeoff was one of the best takeoffs I've ever had. And then landing, like the pilot like slammed on the brakes and we all like put our hands up and I'm like, oh my gosh, like it's like he ran out of runway. And then we turned, there was no more runway. Like, we were
flying into Newark was a little dicey.
Yeah, it was rough. It was rough. But
so then we got into Newark and we got a car. That was kind of a boring story. And then we made a wrong turn. We missed the turn on our GPS. We ended up in the hood.
It wasn't even a wrong turn. So you're going through these toll booths.
Yeah.
And there was like 10 plus lanes. And then all of a sudden it split to 2 different freeways. And the freeway I needed was on this side. And I just went straight because all the lines on the road disappeared. So 10 lanes were going to 4 and people were crossing all like which way. And I'm like, I'm just going to go straight because I can't cause an accident if I just go straight. And then we ended up in like literally the worst part of New Jersey.
It was pretty scary. But we made it. We made it. We got turned around the way that we needed to go. New Jersey smells awful in the Newark area. It smells like piss, like stale piss. It's awful.
It's a terrible smelling area.
It's a terrible smelling area.
It's pretty bad.
I was kind of concerned about my lung health.
It's one of the top worst smelling places I've ever been.
And we've been in Tacoma. So that's saying a lot. It's bad. So we got on the road. We stopped at Dunkin' Donuts because I hadn't been there before. We got the coffee. It was actually really good. We got donuts. And then we made it to Rhinebeck.
Yay!
That was kind of like 12 hours condensed into 4 minutes.
We weren't even that late. We got there by noon.
We got there right at the podcaster meetup. And I'm going to forget people, and I'm sorry in advance, but we saw Caitlin from Wool Jewel, and I was really excited about that. We saw Knitting Envy, and her name escapes me right now, and that's embarrassing, but her first episode was in a hotel room.
She was so sweet. Like, we seriously had an hour of sleep, and she came up to me, and I'm like, oh my gosh, because I love her podcast, and I'm like, just staring at her. It was an embarrassing minute before I'm like, oh my God. But she was so sweet about it, and so like,
she was really, great. Really sweet.
And let's see, we saw
Lucky Jenny.
Lucky Jenny.
That was really great. She's a lot like she is on her podcast.
Super sweet. Two Tangled Skeins.
Okay, this is funny. I was excited about seeing Strings and More because I saw them and I was like fangirling out, like, oh my God. And then what's funny is that they started fangirling out over us, and I didn't even know they knew who we were.
I didn't know either.
I just watched their podcast and I've never interacted with them. And for them to be like, oh my God, it's the Mean Girls. I was like, how do you know me?
Right?
That's
I've
weird.
Seen their podcast. I've
You're
never
famous.
Them.
I'm not famous, but okay.
Right?
Cool. All right. They're super sweet too. So we've met a lot of people at the podcast. We met Sock Matician and he was so nice. He was really nice.
He was super polite too. Oh my gosh. Polite, and super nice. And
he was really nice. We just saw him for a second. We saw
High Fiber.
Melissa. I didn't even bring the. She gave us. She
dyed minis and gave them out.
I forgot to bring mine. Mine was cute.
She has a brand new podcast. She only has like 3 episodes out.
Yeah,
but she's
High Fiber.
Amazing.
She did a solo road trip all the way there.
She did the most beautiful like skull colorwork sweater.
Yeah, her Rhinebeck sweater put everybody to shame. So did Lucky Jenny. Like, I was embarrassed to be in their presence. She had the stag pullover. And I'm just like, you won knitting, okay? Right. Let's all pack it up and go home.
Rhinebeck.
You win Rhinebeck.
There's no point in us wearing sweaters.
Thanks for playing. Speaking of playing Rhinebeck scavenger hunt, if you're playing along, collecting the clues, send them all to David real fast.
Yeah, you can message him at David Dog Dare on Instagram or
Dog Dare on Ravelry.
Dog Dare on Ravelry, and submit your clues all to him so that way everybody, they're all in one place, and he's and then we will draw. I think we're drawing next week.
Yeah, November 3rd, 11:59. I don't know when he's drawing, but there's a deadline. You can go to his Instagram. And then we met up with David Dog Dare and Nancy and Lorelai, who were our Rhinebeck roomies.
Oh and they are all the best.
I felt really lucky. I felt so lucky to even just be in their presence, let alone spending the time with them at the Airbnb. And then we went to Rhinebeck, and then we shopped around, and then we went to the Airbnb. Like, that's what happened.
Yeah, that was Saturday.
And Saturday, yeah. Because we got there Saturday.
Yeah.
And then we went out to dinner at a Thai place, and I don't like Thai food, so I ordered cheesecake because I'm an adult and I can do what I want, and it was amazing. Like Yum Yum Noodles, I think is what it was called, in Kingston, New York. Amazing.
It was good, though. I like Thai food. It was good.
Then we went home to the Airbnb, and we hung out around the table, and we talked. And Nancy and Lorelai went to bed, and me and Stephanie stayed up with David, and we talked all night long, till midnight. And that was the highlight of my life. I peaked right then. It is all downhill from there. That was the best. That was it. That was it for me. That was the culmination of all of this. That was the moment. And now it's all downhill, which is fine. Thanks, David, for that. David is the funniest man.
I have nothing left to look forward to.
One of the funniest men I've ever met in my life. Jake being number one. Jake is hilarious.
I'm so sad he couldn't come.
Oh, God. So then we're talking around midnight, and Dog Dare says, hey, do you want to go to breakfast at 6 a.m?
Why, yes, I do, David.
We forgot breakfast. Barbara. We forgot to tell Barbara was there at dinner. And then Barbara was like,
we hung out with Barbara on Saturday. She came to dinner.
Yeah, she came to dinner. And then after dinner, she was like, I'm just going to walk back to my hotel room. And we're like, Barbara, you're not walking back to your hotel room by yourself. And so we walked with her against her will.
All of us. So Nancy, Lorelai, David, Rebecca, and I decided we're going to walk because she's like, it's just around the corner.
She's like, I'll be fine.
Even though she said she didn't say that. But
I think we took a wrong turn because about 15 minutes into this walk, I said, Barbara, are you sleeping on the street? Like, tell us. Are you just like leading us on this trip? Are you too embarrassed to tell us you don't have accommodations? But she did have. It was just forever away. And then we walked back to our Airbnb, and that took like 10 minutes. So I have
some more direct route back.
It was more direct route. But Barbara was safe. We did not let her walk by herself. So then we went back and talked to David, and it was amazing and everything I thought it could be. Then David said, let's go to breakfast. Barbara's like, no, it's too early.
Yeah, she's like, I'm not getting up that early. Sorry, guys.
I would go to breakfast at 3 a.m. with David if he asked me to. Like, that's just no question. I'm going to breakfast with David.
If David was like, you guys want to stay up all night again? I guess we do, David. I don't need sleep. Sleep is for the weak.
We don't need sleep. Oh my God, we had no caffeine. We had I think I had 1.5 cups of coffee. Every day.
Coffee, that was it. And there was crazy. I slept a total of 13 hours between
so jealous.
Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday night.
Ugh.
I
didn't sleep on the plane at all.
I slept an hour and 45 minutes maybe on the plane. Something like that.
It was she slept more than I did. I didn't sleep. I can't sleep on planes. So then we went to breakfast with David and
Nancy and Lorelai. all of us went to
Well,
breakfast.
yeah, but I mean, I'm sorry, Nancy and Lorelai. They were there, but I was thinking about the fact that I knit David this hat, and it was really ugly, and he wore it with pride. And I kept like trying to fix it, like, David, let me fix that for you. And he was like, no, it's good, I like it. And I'm like, don't tell anybody I made that. That's embarrassing. But he wore it with pride, and I was really embarrassed. But we went out for breakfast, had some pancakes with Lorelai and Nancy. And Lorelai and Nancy are awesome, by the way. The Brown Rabbit podcast and Handmade by Lorelai.
They are amazing.
They're
oh my gosh.
Best roomies ever. In fact, Lorelai was talking to me yesterday about taking a trip up here.
Oh, Lorelai, please.
And I told her she could stay at my house. Because I have 4 bathrooms.
Yes.
And you'll have 1.
I do. I only have 1.
So I told her she could stay with us and we could go to the Bainbridge Island yarn store because she wanted to go there. It's going to be super fun. Super excited. So then we went to Rhinebeck on Sunday. We went shopping, and apparently we are the slowest shoppers in the entire world, and we have never left Washington State, and we have to touch everything. That's true, Nancy. 100%. If you watch Brown Rabbit's podcast, that's what she said about us. It's true. We were, like, touching everything. Because it was exciting.
It's exciting. It's all new to us. I mean, I've never been to a fire festival. I didn't know what to expect, and there was just so much. Like, at one point, I was telling Barbara from the Flame Fiber, like, it's almost like hard to buy something. You're just like, it's so overwhelming by how much stuff is there.
And my budget was about this big, and I was kind of afraid to buy stuff because I was like, well, what if I see something better? So I have to see everything first, and then I can make a decision. So then Sunday was for shopping. Lorelai had to leave pretty early, and I was pretty bummed about that. And Nancy had left shortly after that, and I was pretty bummed about that. And then we left with Barbara from Flame Fiber, and we went to her house, which is a whole other story because it's about 4 hours away, and it took us about 7 to 8 hours to get there. It was a long drive because she made us go through this national forest and then through these back roads, and it was really creepy and weird. There's a whole other story there. But first, we stopped at a truck stop and we got matching New York hoodies, which you saw on my Instagram stories probably. Then we saw a Wawa. Now, Jake from the Dog Star Knits podcast has not shut up about Wawa and how great it is. And I'm like, I gotta see what's going on. So I get on Instagram Live. I'm like this, and I walk into Wawa, and I am so excited I can pee. And I'm like, guys, this is gonna be the best thing ever. Walk in, it's a convenience store. And I was like, that's embarrassing. This is nothing special. So we stood around forever. And I'm like, what is so special about this place? So finally I decided I'm going to interview somebody. So I walk up to the customer service manager, named Pat, and I said, what's so great about Wawa? I came all this way. What's great about it? It was kind of aggressive. And he was like, oh, it's the sandwiches.
Yeah, he was really happy to talk about it, too.
He was excited. He was like, the sandwiches. So we turn around, and then there's this full-service deli that we hadn't even seen.
Totally missed it.
Totally missed it.
Oh, my gosh.
It was the entire place. So, okay. So we go to this kiosk, and we order a sandwich. You type in what you want. And then we stood there.
With our ticket
for like 15 minutes waiting for something to happen. And nothing happened. And it was a long wait. And I was like, well, I don't know what to do.
And then I turned around.
And
the guy who... Oh, sorry.
I just assumed that our sandwich would come at some point.
Right. You would just think that. So I turned around, and a guy who had ordered after us was standing in line with his ticket. And I said, oh, we probably got to pay first, right? Like, or while we're waiting, like, let's at least just pay. We pay, turn around, our sandwiches up there. Because apparently they make it, but they won't give it to you until you pay for it.
Yeah.
So, but you guys, oh my gosh, the best thing about Wawa though, they have Miracle Whip.
They did. Subway doesn't have that.
Nobody around here. I've never been to any sandwich place in Washington that has Miracle Whip.
It was amazing.
Oh my gosh.
We were so happy.
That's the best part about Wawa right there.
Right. Miracle Whip. Like, seriously, it was great. I thought that was kind of a West Coast thing, but apparently not.
I don't know, but
it was great.
It was I would go get sandwiches every day at Wawa because they got Miracle Whip.
So then we walked outside with our sandwiches because it was kind of embarrassing to still be in the store after we made fools of ourselves. And there's these like motorcyclists. I got told they were not bikers, but I mean, that's what I call them. Motorcyclists, and they look kind of scary and they have like face tattoos and hand tattoos. They're sitting on their bikes, and I was like, I wonder how they feel about Wawa. Now, I want everybody to know, you couldn't see this from the video, they were right outside the door, and it was a very well-populated area.
Well, plus they were on motorcycles.
And they were motorcycles.
And there's like video cameras around, I'm sure. Like, we weren't...
What are they going to do? Kidnap me on their motorcycle? That's not going to work. I'll jump off.
Yeah, good luck to them.
That's not how it works. I wasn't worried about it. If they were in a car, no. I'm not going to walk up to somebody standing next to a car. Totally fine. Totally safe. And I was like, hey.
Super sweet.
I was like, how do you feel about Wawa? And they were like, what did he say?
He said, well, sure, they'll ain't their clean bathrooms.
Yeah.
Or
Something like about how they had dirty bathrooms. And I'm like, oh my God, you're so hilarious. Let's be friends. And they were like, yeah, get on the motorcycle. We'll take you to get cheesesteak. And I'm like, that sounds really fun, but no. You're scary. You could hurt me, and I don't want to do that. But they were super great. They entertained us for a while.
Yeah, and they were really nice and really sweet, and there was no, like, mean vibe coming from them.
Right. Can I just say, though, that what I love the most about the East Coast is that everybody sounds like they're in the mob. Like, I could listen to people over there talk all day long. And I'm not going to imitate the accent, even though I've done it several times for my family.
Really?
Yeah, but we were walking around, and every time we walked around, people were on the phone. And I'd hear conversations, or they'd be talking to each other, and they would say things like, so I was talking to my cousin Vinny, and he says, and I'm like, what did cousin Vinny say? Like, I want to know, because are you in the mob? Like, are you in the mafia? I want to know, because they had these accents. Everybody sounded like they were on the set of The Godfather. And I was like, is this a movie? Like, is this real life? Oh my God, it was amazing. I just wanted to talk to everybody. And everybody wanted to talk to us. Like, everybody's super nice there.
Yeah, and really nice. Like, we were walking down the
streets. People in New York were rude, but no.
Yeah, we were walking down the streets in Kingston, well, the sidewalks, to go get breakfast. And everybody, like, it's like, good morning. And I'm like, why are you talking to me at 6 in the morning? You don't say good morning. People just, like, keep your head down and keep walking. Because that's what people do in Washington. They don't acknowledge you.
If you come to Bremerton at 6 in the morning and you walk around and say good morning to people, you will probably get punched.
Probably.
No. The only appropriate time to say good morning to somebody is probably like noon. And even then, it's like, why are you talking to me? Stop talking to me. That's weird. You can acknowledge people or wave or whatever, but you don't say good morning to people. I felt like I was on a show. I felt like I was in a movie. It was weird.
It was weird. Like, I have been, like, walked to coffee down in Seattle. We stayed in Seattle for Howard's birthday. And so we walked down to go get coffee down the streets. Nobody said anything to us.
No.
Not a word. Nobody even looked at us. And then we go there and it's like everybody's talking to you and you're like, wow. It was amazing.
Weird.
Super sweet.
Super nice. Everybody was super nice. Somebody helped Stephanie parallel park. Like, took time out of their day to walk over and help Stephanie parallel park.
That was so embarrassing.
In Seattle, they would just whip out their phone and videotape you and put you on YouTube.
Not there, like,
I was like, let me help you.
Can I just say how sweet Lorelai was? Because Lorelai came out there too, and so she was helping, and she never brought it up again.
No,
she was never.
She's so sweet.
It was like, okay, Stephanie can't parallel park. All right. Which is weird because you guys, I have to defend myself a little bit. So actually, I don't even know what's wrong with me. I have a huge SUV. Every time I parallel park that thing, no problem. Put me in a rental car.
It was a rental.
And all of a sudden, I don't even know how to parallel park anymore. And Lorelai's out there and some strange guy. They're kind of helping me, get it. And I get it in there. And Lorelai, sweet Lorelai, never made fun of me. Never, like...
I made fun of her.
She did.
I would.
I would made fun of me too, but Lorelai was so sweet about it, so I love Lorelai.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lorelai.
She's very sweet.
We're never bringing that up again.
So then we were driving around these, like, back roads, and it was really creepy, and the road was making weird noises, and the signs were weird, and we tried to call Barbara, and she did not answer, and we're like, where are we? We don't even know where we're at.
Oh, yeah.
And so we called Jake, because Jake lives in Pennsylvania.
No, you're forgetting.
No.
Barbara, yeah, because we called Barbara, she didn't answer, but then we called her again before we talked to Jake, and she did answer, and she said we were on the right way. This was when we were still in the forest.
Okay, but we didn't tell Jake that. We just told Jake we couldn't get a hold of Barbara, and then we called him and said, where are we? So we're like, Jake, where are we? We're lost, right? But we weren't
We weren't.
And he was like, I don't know where you are. Like, what's the sign say? And I'm like, it says Main Street. And he's like, that's not helpful.
And I'm like, well, there's a yield sign. Do you know where the yield sign is?
Main Street with the yield sign. Think about it. And he's like, I don't know where that is. No.
We were in some, like, country highway roads.
Abandoned ghost town.
In Pennsylvania. And it was dark out. And there's no street lights. There's no... And, like, all the buildings and houses, lights are off.
And we wouldn't have had this problem if we hadn't stopped at Wawa for an hour to talk to bikers. We wouldn't have had this issue. But we did. And because we make bad decisions. So... Yeah. But Jake was super nice, and I'm like, there's a sign for Shimmersville, and he's like, that's not a real place. I'm like, I don't know.
What haunted place is this?
It was scary. But we made it to Barbara's. We almost drove off a cliff. That's a whole other story. But we made it to Barbara's, and oh my God. Barbara and Dennis are the best people in the entire planet. Dennis makes the best food in the entire world.
It was so good.
And he makes his own wine, and it was so good, and I hate wine. And I drank, like, a lot. Not a lot, but I had like a couple glasses, 2 glasses maybe.
He makes his own like salad dressings and his own like what was that tartar sauce? Like
he made his own tartar sauce, but I didn't eat that. I don't like tartar sauce.
I had it. It was so good.
He's one of those people that he's good at everything. And he knows a lot about a lot of things. And he's fascinating. And he comes across, he's really humble. And so it's not like I'm smarter than you. But I was like, oh my God, I could listen to you talk about stuff all day long.
Yeah, it was like everything he said was
interesting.
Interesting. Like,
yeah, it was really cool to meet him because I didn't know what to expect. Because I knew what to expect with Barbara because it's a podcast. She's exactly like she is on a podcast, which is awesome and hilarious. So we stayed up till like midnight.
It was like 1 a.m. It
was like 1 a.m. We had not slept in forever. And then we talked to Jake from Dog Star Nights. And we said, hey, Jake, do you want to meet us for breakfast tomorrow at 7 a.m? We were only 45 minutes away. You don't mind driving that far, do you? And he was like, no, I don't. So we met Jake on Monday morning.
Yeah, so we stayed till 1 a.m. and we're like, so Barbara, you want to go?
Yeah, you want to go
breakfast?
Meet Jake at 7 in the morning?
Remember, Barbara was like, I'm not getting up for breakfast with David because it's too early.
Too early.
And we're like, hey, so we want to see Jake. And she's like, okay.
She's like, yeah, okay, let's do that. So she actually drove us down there, which was really sweet of her. And we went to this diner, and she ordered scrapple, which is awful. And
it tasted like sausage.
It tasted like sausage if the sausage was disgusting.
I wish I didn't know what was in it.
Yeah, they told us what was in it first, and I feel like that was the mistake, because I don't want to think about lips and buttholes while I'm trying to
it wasn't bad.
Eat.
It really didn't taste that bad, but I knew what was in it, and I'm like, but
Not so
if they had said, hey, try scrapple. What is it? Oh, it's a breakfast dish.
It's like a breakfast sausage. Okay.
We
would have ate it.
I would have ate it because it wasn't bad. And they're like, oh, you put syrup on it, and it was really good with syrup on it. But they had told us what was in it before we ate it.
Google that. It's awful.
Yeah.
But no, we had breakfast, and it was amazing. And Jake is really funny, and we were so happy to be able to meet up with him. And
so yeah, that was
great. That was fantastic. And then we went to Philadelphia. Which was awesome. Everybody there is like in a movie. We got cheesesteaks, which were awesome. I brought one home. I wasn't going to tell you all that, but I did bring one home for Neil. And he ate it. And he didn't get sick, but we cooked it and stuff first, so it was fine. I forgot the bread. I left the bread on the plane. Because I got it separately, so it wouldn't get all soggy. I wasn't going to tell that story, but I did bring it home for him, and he was happy. Sorry, Neil. I didn't mean to throw you under the bus there. We heated it up. It was fine. Right? It was okay. Nobody got food poisoning. I took a bite of it. I was fine.
It was good. It was good. But the cheese whiz. Get it with the cheese whiz.
You gotta get it with the cheese whiz.
It was good. It was really good. And so, I don't know, we just walked around.
We went to a yarn store. We went to Loop in Philadelphia.
Which is an amazing store, by the way.
It was really nice. It was really nice.
There's like a huge selection. And they have like sweater quantities of everything. Like their shelves are fully stocked. So that was amazing. And
they were really nice.
I don't know, like I loved Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm.
Like
me too.
It's probably came home and told Howard like that's probably my new favorite city. Like everybody was nice, the food was good, like
everybody was really nice. I was really concerned about it being, sort of a big city. But did they shut the door?
Yeah, he shut the door, but they knocked the can over and it's probably
fine. So Philadelphia with Barbara was super fun. She knew everywhere to go, and
which if you ever go there, I feel like you need a tour guide.
You need a tour guide.
Because
I didn't know how to cross the street. Because it said, green, you can go now. And I went to kind of go, but then a cop came flying by, and then another car. And Barbara was like, just go. And I'm like, I can't. The cars don't stop. And she's like, well, they're not stopping because you're not in the street.
They'll smell your fear.
They smell your fear, and they know they can go. And I'm like, oh, okay. So that's what you have to do in Philadelphia. When the light is green and it's your turn to go, you have to confidently step out in front of traffic and hope to God that they're not texting. And it was fine.
It was fine. But yeah, I don't think we could have seen as much as we did in just a few hours if we hadn't. And Barbara was so sweet and so willing. We're like, can we go to Philadelphia? She's like, sure.
Yeah, she was like, yeah, okay.
She's
so sweet.
Oh my God. I love her. It was amazing.
We had the best time. Flame and Fiber podcast.
And their little dog, Pearl. I love Pearl. I wanted to take her home. I thought about knocking Barbara and Dennis out and taking their dog, but I thought about just moving in.
Didn't seem like a... there you go. That's a little bit more of a sane idea, even though it's still a little insane.
It's a little insane, but I did tell Howard before I left. I said, I hear Dennis is an amazing cook, and they have Pearl, and I love Barbara, so I may just not come home.
I said the same thing to Neil. Oh, something else I wanted to address, going back to the podcaster meetup at Rhinebeck. There were a lot of bees. There were a lot of bees. And so I did this weird thing where I would meet people, and I'd be like, hi, I'm Rebecca from the Mean Girls. And they'd be like, oh, hi. And then I would start screaming and running away and being like, get away from me. If I did that to you, I'm sorry. It wasn't you. It was the bees. I was flipping out probably about 60% of the time.
I don't know. That's okay. We're just gonna be known as the weird sisters because I don't really like people touching me, right?
Yeah,
like
same.
I'll like hug and release. So I'm walking around Rhinebeck like this, like trying to get to the crowds. And at one point, Nancy came up behind me, and I'm like, and I'm like, I look at her, I'm like, oh, it's you. Okay.
It was you.
Because I can like if I know you, like
like that's the
that's
thing.
fine.
Like, I
Like,
don't
but
like
strangers are touching me, and so she's got like screaming profanities, and I'm walking around like.
I thought I was gonna get kicked out of Rhinebeck because I was like,
if you saw us,
screaming profanities. Yeah. But you know
Weird.
what? I'm not weird about touching when I know the person. Like, I would share a drink with David. That's how much I love him.
No, and like if I had known it was Nancy, I wouldn't have like
You're like,
tried to give like 10 inches of space between us. But because I mean, Nancy's amazing. Like that's okay.
Right.
I'll bump shoulders with you, Nancy. But strangers, I'm like, just
guys. God, there were so many shenanigans. It was so fun.
It was an amazing weekend.
And honestly, I mean, Rhinebeck is great. If you get a chance to go to Rhinebeck. But if you can, stay with David and Nancy and Lorelai. That's my advice.
I get so many messages because of you.
What? I don't care. Stay with them. It's fun.
It is. They are a blast. They're
a blast.
They were the best house.
It was.
I think. I'm kind of biased, but I love them, and I had an amazing time.
I felt so lucky. I felt like the luckiest podcasters in the whole world to be able to stay with those people because it was those people. Because it was fun. It was so fun. We missed Jake and Ray so much. I know. And I wish we would have got to see Ray too, but you know, what are you going to do? But yeah, no, they were great. It was great. We have 4 more minutes. So we stopped by the Miss Babs. And we got this. Oh. I'm so excited. It's Zing in the light worsted Yowza base, and it's like 500 and something yards. 560 yards. $38. I got one because I'm broke. But
I got 2 to make a sweater for me.
my daughter has blue eyes. My little baby has bright blue eyes, even though she's almost 2. So I'm gonna make her a sweater.
It's gonna be gorgeous. It's gorgeous yarn. It's super soft. Oh my gosh.
It's ridiculously soft. It's squishy.
What else?
And then I got this. Oops, sorry, my eyeball was right there. I don't even know who made this. I can't tell. I'm gonna have to open it.
Okay, I got this.
Oh, I was talking.
Oh, well, I was waiting. You're slow.
Brooks Farm yarn. There you go. But it was buy 3, get 1 free. That's 400 yards of 50/50 wool and silk. So I got this purple. I think I'm going to make the Freya hoodie.
You should make the Freya.
I don't know if it'll work. But it says the original pattern was made with silk, so I think it'll be okay. But purple. I did a really good job picking colors that I wanted and no browns and reds. Good for me. Okay, you can show yours.
Oh, no, I just got this
3 minutes.
from Lily's Rainbow Yarn. There's no tag or anything on them because apparently she had just finished dyeing them. But I'm going to make a sweater. It's going to be fabulous. I bought a lot of stuff to like one color there. So I got these. And I don't even know what boots she was in. It's Lily's Rainbow Yarn. It's super soft. It's great.
It's gorgeous.
And
Did you get more?
No.
I got 2 skeins of mohair.
Oh, I bought mohair.
We just got some mohair. It was like $6. So I got 4 of these, but it was buy 3, get 1. I bought 1 of these. Oh!
No, see, mohair. I bought 4 different colors, but it's just...
Oh yeah, I got the same thing,
Head
but blue
merino.
and purple. Blue and purple was my theme. And guys,
Would you start on it?
yeah, I started on it, but I'll just show you.
Okay.
I got fiber, and it's Corriedale. Corriedale fibers, because the lady that was at the booth told me that it was really easy to work with, and so I trusted her, and I spent $4 on some fiber. Our budget was pretty. A lot of people had like these huge yarn hauls, and we just did not.
No,
Which is fine.
And I bought yarn at...
Well, I was going to do that. Elsewhere. Well, we got 2 minutes. Go ahead.
No.
You got yarn in Philadelphia?
Yeah, but it's just the yarn store. I'll talk about it at the real...
Our real episode.
Our real
It's
episode.
more of an acquisition than Rhinebeck.
Yeah.
So yeah, we went to Rhinebeck. We had an amazing time. Me and Stephanie, we got a minute left. We were walking into a truck stop and there was a caterpillar on the cement. And I saw it like 100 yards away and I was like, oh my gosh, I should tell Stephanie so she doesn't step on this caterpillar. But then I decided it would be more fun to point and scream when we got close.
You guys, and I was wearing my Birkenstocks and I hurt my hip. I jumped and screamed, and you can't jump in like
I wish I had it
sandals.
on video.
It was awful.
It was amazing.
I laughed
I'm
so
a bitch.
hard. I did. I laughed. It was fun. It was funny.
I'm a
but
jerk.
If it wasn't for my hip, because I jumped weird and you land weird, because
Yeah.
my Birks.
Okay, we gotta go. That was it. We're gonna try not to talk about Rhinebeck too much in the next episode. But if you were interested, that's how it went. It was fantastic.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's so fun.
So-
and thank you to everybody who came up and said hi.
Thank you to everybody.
Thank you
Thank you for everything.
everybody. Amazing.